Can you technically rape yourself?
I think you can. No, actually, I don't think you can. I think technically it's always masturbation.
By the standards of Reddit and what I've learned,
Because
you can.
that is always the best way to start.
Here's the idea.
Go check that 4chan.
You've been here, you've done this. You don't want to admit it, but you have. You have masturbated. Sorry, Mom. You have
She doesn't watch this.
masturbated and not wanted to. But you just did it because you're like, I guess I'll do it. You didn't want to do it, but you made yourself.
Okay, but let me ask you this. You said, I guess I'll do it. Can you consider that rape? That sounds like consent to me.
Welcome to the Lazy Monday podcast.
Very lazy.
Welcome to the Lazy Rape Podcast. This Monday, we're going to talk about nothing really in particular.
Yeah, there's literally nothing.
That's the first time you've told people what we're going to talk about.
This time, we're going to talk about nothing in particular. Yeah, that's a really descriptive way to talk about it. We are double caffeinated for your pleasure and for her pleasure, and ready to go right out of the gate. So our first topic that we decide we basically the way we pick topics is we like put them on a wall and just throw darts, and wherever our darts land the closest, that's what we're going to talk to you guys about. Only quality here on the Lazy Revolver podcast.
We do not have a wall of topics.
Yeah, we actually just put the topics on the back of people and have them run across the room and then throw darts at the people.
Well, yeah, actually, we put them in the road on the freeway, and whoever is the last one alive, that's the one that we pick.
And then we kill them.
And then we kill them. Well, I mean, no survivors, right? So
Well, we can't let them tell.
that's what I mean by no survivors.
Sure.
I just go on Google and look at the news.
Well, I mean, we do that too, but
The other way is more fun.
we want to tell people the Lazy Revolver way.
That's by killing.
That seems extremely convoluted, and so much energy is going to be in that.
So the first human that survived the train wreck was about masturbation. Is it rape or masturbation? If you go back in time
Are we?
and you suck yourself off,
Okay, you're
That's-
you're
is
describing
it
it
gay
wrong.
or masturbation?
That's
You go back in time and you have sex with yourself. Is it gay or is it masturbation?
My stance is masturbation. I do me.
Maybe masturbation is gay in the first place. And we're all a little gay.
I was about to say, I was like, then every man has handled a dick at least once or twice in his life. Or 100 times. Or 1,000.
Probably around 1,000.
Nate, your thoughts? All right.
That's the face of a man
Who's handled a
Who's
dick.
handled a dick.
what?
You probably had a dick in your hands like 5 seconds ago. You went to the bathroom before this podcast. I mean, you were probably holding it, right? Something was coming out. Could be one thing, could be another. It's all the same tubes.
I don't think you know what masturbation is, Sage.
How do masturbate? I do it all orally, so I don't know what you guys talk about.
That's what Marilyn Manson does.
Yep.
He had 2 ribs removed, I think, just for it.
Wasn't that a rumor?
I think.
For
I
self-fellatio.
thought that was just a rumor.
It could totally be.
But because it was on this podcast, it's confirmed. Breaking news stories for your pleasure.
Don't we have to correct a bunch of things from the last podcast?
Well, we didn't talk about anything in the last podcast other than
Podcast.
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 It was all opinion last podcast, right?
No, I won that podcast.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's all I can really say.
Wait, Nate, you never gave your consensus.
It's gay. Okay, moving on.
Oh. Okay, we can move on.
Then I'm super gay. I am the gayest gay that has ever gayed. Oh, hey, so actually, funny thing, talking about gays, there was a news story of, I think it was a thing in Canada. It's like a sweater.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were gonna make a sweater and call it a gay sweater. That's the name of it. It's a gay sweater, and it's made out of human hair. And I think it's specifically
That
it's
seems
made out
like
of.
it'll be super itchy.
Well, and
Good.
see, my thing was they wanted to the idea, and it's a really cool idea. They wanted to revolutionize the term gay because a lot of people use gay in negative terms, like, oh, that's gay, I don't like it, or oh, don't be like a gay, or don't be a gay, and a lot of people use gay as a negative term. So they're like, we're gonna make this a gay sweater, and it's gonna be a great sweater, and they actually do look pretty cool. I won't lie. Why make it out of human hair?
Yeah,
though?
that's a big question. If you're gonna start making a movement, don't start it with something so bizarre.
They had a good reason why they used human hair, but it was gross.
Eh,
I think aren't there companies that will like make sweaters out of your dog's hair?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
probably. There's
I'm sure.
companies that'll probably make you a leather
Ugh.
jacket out of skin,
If you can
human skin.
get a taxidermy to make a stuffed animal out of your dog, your dead dog, I'm sure you probably could get anything anywhere, no matter what. But
Anything?
But the
Anything?
reason for making it human hair was the fact that they said every single stitch has a story, and every single strand is someone's life and someone's idea, and that's why it's human hair. But I'm just like, but you're wearing human hair.
Yeah,
Gross.
there's no way around that. You can. That's my thing. Like with artistic communities and stuff, they can find so much deep meaning behind something, and I'm just like, dude, that's hair.
It's human hair.
That's straight up hair. You
disgusting.
can say what you want. You're wearing hair. I mean, I don't think it's bad. Wear it if you like it, but I wouldn't want it.
But you're carrying around the human race.
Well, parts of the human race.
Technically,
I don't know if I'd say you're carrying around the human race.
actually, for the future, if you kept that sweater, maybe in the future you could, when cloning's available, you can just make a ton of clones and make your own army out of people.
the
You have
best
all their
time to
DNA.
wear a
They're
hair
not gonna
sweater
all follow you though.
is in an apocalypse.
I also don't think we're asking the great question. Where's this hair coming from?
I would assume it probably donations. I mean, there's locks of love and stuff
There's
like
lots
that.
of. I've never. I guess so.
I mean,
But
I bet
who's
you
donating?
I bet you could get a lot of free hair from like
Cancer patients?
that's awful. Why do you gotta take it there?
I was thinking, well,
I was gonna say in
They
student
cut
barber
the-
shops, but okay, cancer patients.
but
Actually, I think they did say it in the
wouldn't
interview,
they
but I don't
donate
remember.
the hair?
Huh?
Wouldn't they donate the hair because they have to shave it?
Well, it depends on if it all falls off at once. They don't have to shave it. A lot of people lose their hair.
Uh,
I mean, it's kind of it gets to a point where I'm pretty sure they do shave it
Just most of the
because
time
it's like
you shave.
patches. Mm-hmm. But I do know a lot of people like when the second they go into chemo, they're just like, just shave it. I don't want to deal with, looking like I'm dying halfway through. Might as well just
But some people, it's really hard for them to get rid of it. Like, I don't know. It's mostly stories
Well,
with
yeah.
women where it's like cutting their hair. They're too scared. They're really scared to do it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the thing where I think women a lot of times they really do keep like their hair is a lot of times their image. I mean, you see a
Yeah.
lot of. I mean, Savannah talks about whenever she sees somebody with like really long hair, she always says like, "Oh, I wish I had hair like that." And I'm like, "Well, you'll get to it eventually," but I don't know. It's a big deal. Whereas I'm kind of like, shave it off, call it a day. I
yeah.
don't care. It'll grow back. Whatever.
Is that like an image that's been distilled into women that they need long hair?
I think it's less. I think it's becoming
It's
less
going
popular.
away because I think
Short
now
hair is becoming more popular.
to me, I like short hair even better. I think it's a cool look. I'm
Are you
not
talking
quite.
about? Are you talking about in general or
I'm
on
not
women?
quite to the buzzed head
Short
look,
hair is
but like
awesome.
short hair, I do like
on
on a woman. Yeah.
on a woman? Okay.
Yeah. But I also like long hair.
I feel like
Short hair is awesome.
this is opinion. Obviously, this isn't like hard cold fact, but I feel like it's really like hit or miss with short hair. Like there are times where I'm like, short hair looks really good. You look tomboyish, but it looks good to me. Although I don't know if tomboy is an offensive term or not, but you get what I'm saying. But then there are times where I'm like, you look much better with short hair. Like the people, some girls will.
Yeah, it's a.
And I think it's also when I meet them. Like a lot of times, if I meet them with long hair and then they're like snip and they cut it all off, then I'm like, I don't like it. But then if I meet them with short hair, well, yeah, you adjust eventually. But I mean, at first, I'm like, I don't really like it because it's different. And then if I meet them with long hair, or if I meet them with short hair, then the opposite is true. Mm-hmm. I think long hair looks weird on them.
That's just what happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
How much are these sweaters?
I think they're decently expensive. It's a designer brand.
I mean, it's human hair.
I think their starting price is like $100 some. I'd have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
$100 for a hair sweater. If it's also very soft.
I'm googling gay sweater. It's never a good idea.
Oh, they look like that.
Yeah, it actually came up.
Hold on. I'm making sure this is what it is.
I think I'm for this movement, but I'm probably not going to get one. Just because I'm also not a sweater guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweaters.
I think it's a cool idea to get rid of the term, but I think you should start it with something that's a little less niche. Because that seems like such a niche thing to start with.
What sweaters?
Hair sweaters.
Oh,
that are $100 designer brand.
Gay sweater
flap.
Oh.
Is this it? Hallmark says.
Let's just go. $12.95. Oh, never mind. That's
Hold
not
on,
the price.
don't
That's a
read
lie.
this. I'm looking it up. I'll figure it out. I should have done this before the podcast, but
anyway,
like I said, they had a reason though for
how expensive it was.
No, for why it was human hair. I mean, it was a thing where it's like
we do it fast and loose.
It's somebody's experience. You're wearing their experience, and that's the idea.
It's
there. It is
their experience.
That's it. We'll put a little picture up so you guys can see it. What is it?
It looks kind of nasty.
It's cool. You can call a sweater. It's cool. You can call this sweater gay. The world's first only 100% gay object. Admit it. You've always used the word gay to describe some Canadian Center for Gender and Sexual Diversity. So the ones doing this campaign.
Wait, I thought the whole idea was to take the word gay away from the word gay.
No. As in, like, to use it as it is a good, like instead of saying, "Oh, that's gay" in a negative term, using the word gay in a more positive light.
Why does it need to be human hair?
Because we've said this. Do I have to say it a third time? It's because human hair is people's experiences, and that's the idea. Is that's that meaning. It's just their artistic idea that they had. I definitely think it was a bad idea because I definitely think everyone goes, "Oh, that gay sweater is gross," immediately making it negative. But it is an interesting and kind of heartfelt idea that I do have to say is an interesting idea.
But they want they want to use it so the sweater's all good experiences, right?
Well, it's just people's experiences. I don't know if it necessarily says good. They're trying to make the term gay not negative.
Yeah, but don't they want to use the term in what it was meant to be, which is like gleeful or something?
Yeah, that's what gay originated from.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the hair.
I think
that's
it's also
that's just the reasoning for the fabric.
It's kind of weird that it's not weird, but they also have the buttons in a rainbow.
Yeah. I just disagree with their.
Well, that's the National Gay Pride colors, aren't they?
I disagree.
I know,
with
but it seems I thought the message
thing.
was just to make gay a good word. I guess I don't know.
I just don't get the human hair thing. Still, it's weird.
It is weird. I totally agree, but it's one of those things where I'm kind of like swing and a miss. Like it's
good idea, product backing it. I don't know about.
I definitely would like to see more things with that are trying to put a positive term on or positive twist on the word gay, because I do think even I have been guilty of saying using the term gay in a that's gay like kind of thing
in my experience
in a negative way.
In my experience, it's sort of died down. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of shocked when I hear it these days. Like the other day, somebody said it, and I was like, "Did he really just say that. Like, I think everybody was also shocked too. It was like, I feel like we've moved on past it at this point, for the most part. Of course, you're always gonna have people that are still doing the do, but
Don't know what that means.
Phrasing.
Doing the do with gays. Don't
I don't. But
I don't get.
Don't think about
where
it.
are you going
Anyways.
with that?
I don't know. I was thinking of like
Do the dude.
Mountain Dew.
Did you? Okay.
I didn't think it through.
The audience heard my joke. Well, to transition from that.
I don't think you can transition from that.
So,
It's just
I'm trying to think of a transition. I'm really trying.
It's just an abrupt switch.
Did you know that Master Chief is pro-gay?
Is he?
I don't think that
ever was.
I don't actually know.
was focused
but
on.
did you hear?
No, we're going to transition to this.
Anyways,
We're
boom.
going to
Okay,
transition
out
this
to the next
naturally.
subject.
I hate you all.
We're talking about the Halo 5 Guardians.
We're not getting going. That is not our transition.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
not
All right,
doing
so
it.
did you guys see
I'm
the
not
new
doing
trailers?
it. I'm going to filibuster. So
Anyways,
score
Zane,
10
what did
years
you think?
ago, there was Abraham
No.
Lincoln.
You
and
can't
he
transition this.
survived World
The
War IV.
apocalypse.
How does that
and
connect to the
zombie
hair?
George Bush. Why did I go to Facebook? I didn't mean to go to Netflix. I didn't mean to go to Reddit. Okay, Reddit. We're going to keep talking. The moment shit got real, someone was pregnant with twins. Oh, that's a shame. So Halo 5.
That was even worse.
Mine was actually not that bad. Oh, jeez.
I just like
And
how
Zane broke the chair.
I didn't break it. It's already broken.
in my moment of improvisation, I said that woman had twins. Oh shit,
Halo 5.
because twins are so terrible.
Okay, so
That's a really happy dog.
oh my god.
Are you going to post these pictures or are you just
Hell
talking?
no, hell no. This is just for me. This is just for me, for my personal collection.
So Halo 5
So I've been following Halo
Guardians
5. I've been kind of following the Hunt the Truth.
kind of following.
I'm so far behind, but I'm past episode 0.
Okay.
I'm at episode 1.
How many episodes are there?
So far, let me look.
I think there's only one.
Yes, but there is. But there were trailers and there's pictures and there's.
Are you going to post any of these?
I'm gonna post a link to the Hunt the Truth Tumblr page. This is all in Tumblr as well. So
Tumblr friendly.
it's an interesting idea. So we talked about how the last week we talked about that bullet, right? The
Yeah.
That says
traitor
Traitor.
that flies into Master
Yeah.
Chief's face. This week they have released 2 different versions of the same kind of idea for Halo 5's announcement and release date.
Yeah.
10/27, I believe it is. I'm gonna look that up just to make sure. But it was one was with Locke, basically doing a monologue with Master Chief on the ground about to get shot by Locke, and then another one was Master Chief essentially doing his own much shorter, much less written out monologue, which I guess does fit the Chief. But it definitely makes for a weaker commercial. But his own thing while Locke is on the ground.
So who's the good guy?
Well, so this kind of opens up a lot of questions of the fact that there were 2 different ones. What do you think they're going with that?
They both have their reasons and they both are wrong and they're both right.
No. I'm not talking about like introspectively, like artistically. I'm talking about the game. Do you think there's going to be multiple endings?
I think.
Do you think that there's are they trying to play with us?
I don't think there's going to be multiple endings.
I think there may be multiple playthroughs, like one you do with Locke and one you do with the Chief,
Interesting. That is an
and
interesting
you get
idea.
2 different aspects of the story.
Because the biggest thing with Halo is it's always been a very, very story-driven game. You know, it's very, I mean, as simple as the story is in the game itself, it's very, you know, you run through hallways, shooting aliens, you get to the end, you save the world, done deal. This is the first time you've ever seen, you know, 2 different versions of the same. I mean, it's the same aspect and everything, but one has one character winning and one has the other. So to me, that does lend the idea to there being two different paths to take that have two different endings, possibly.
Well,
The Chief's gonna get shot in the face. That's all I know.
You think they're going to kill him in this one?
I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
You think they're going to kill him in this one?
I don't think he's dead yet. I don't think he can be dead yet. But I actually just thought of something. Do you remember way back to the first trailer where he was wearing a hood and everything?
Yes.
And everybody was like making fun of it. Like, why is Master Chief wearing a hood and all that stuff over his stuff? He's wearing armor. Maybe he was wearing a hood because he's on the run and has to hide himself.
Why doesn't he get rid of his armor then?
Because that's all of his power. He'd literally just be a human.
Yeah, but then he'll be able to hide better. That
But-
armor gives it away
But
like
Locke
a
would
lot.
murder him in a second.
I don't think he'd be able to hide. He's like 9 foot tall. He sticks out pretty well. That's not his actual height. I need to look up these facts. Jesus.
9 foot.
You just don't want to be wrong anymore.
So
I don't.
You're too
correction. He's not 9 foot. He's probably like,
He's like
7.
He's like almost 8 foot tall. He's huge.
9.
I think it's very interesting, though. We're going to...
But still, his armor sticks out so much that even with a hood, it's like that guy's a Spartan.
Well, I think the idea is that if somebody was looking for him from a distance and they would look along the horizon, seeing a giant green spot in the middle of a desert versus a brown spot
Yeah,
changes...
but then why not have the armor? Or
Okay, so
get
I guess
different armor?
we're totally wrong. He's 6'7"
Oh,
and weighs 287
Whoa.
pounds.
He's still super tall.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
6'7". Okay,
That's pretty big. That's like basketball player big.
yeah.
Wow.
Do they have pictures of his face?
The Arbiter, I think, sits at about
Yeah.
8 feet or 9 feet.
Yeah, but do they
Arbiter's
have
much bigger.
pictures of his face?
No, they have his eyes,
They have pictures of his face
You've
when
never
he's a
seen his
little
face.
boy. When he's a little boy, you have.
possibly.
In the comics.
Yeah, but-
if you count comics
Well,
as-
Halo 4, they
Yeah.
zoomed in on a blue-eyed
Yeah.
boy, but they didn't really say if it was Master Chief. They kind of
Yeah.
No,
implied
but
it.
I'm saying in the comics, there is implicit, is
Yeah.
that the word? Implicitly show his face as a kid.
Right. Well, I mean, generic white
Or
kid.
Yeah.
explicitly. not
So no, we have
implicitly.
never. We've seen his eyes at the end of Halo
Yeah.
4, but we have never seen his matured face.
I think that would have been a cooler aspect to the hood and thing of him actually being on the run, is if he is hiding his armor and everything, because everyone would like be able to spot him with the armor, and it would be more of an aspect of him trying to hide in like plain sight or something, or hide
It
among
would
the
change the whole game, though, because
dunes.
But-
you take off his armor, now he's just a human.
You guys are thinking of this way too on the nose, though. I think if this is all new, the fact that he's being hunted is all completely new. You had no clue. Essentially, that was a teaser or an announcement where it was just there is a Halo 5. Here's some cool footage from Halo 5.
Yeah.
It might not have anything to do with the only thing that I think actually gives anything away isn't really the fact that he's wearing a hood, but what he's fighting, because what he's fighting is very Promethean looking. And but then you look at that, and then in Halo you see the Covenant ship.
Yeah.
Look, whenever they look up to the sky, it's a Covenant ship, I believe. But then he's also being fought by other Spartans.
Yeah.
Specifically Locke. So you kind of get who is the enemy? Who are we fighting in Halo 5?
Which that might be the interesting thing, is he believes that he has to complete this mission and fight whatever these Promethean things that are still here, right?
Possibly. I mean, it looked very
Yeah.
Promethean. I don't know if it is.
Because from that trailer, we got that giant thing coming out of the sand.
Yeah.
And then him in this other trailer where Locke's on the ground, he said, my mission's just beginning. So it might be a thing of the army's telling him not to go fight him, but he just goes AWOL and continues to fight them.
So I'm stealing this theory from someone else, Funhouse or Funhaus, Adam Kovic. I listened to their podcast because they talked about this. And what his idea was the fact that Master Chief died in Halo 3 compared to essentially. He didn't. That's the thing. They at the end of Halo 3, there is his memorial. They show his statue. They have a 12-gun salute. What the military salutes with when they shoot up in the air.
Yeah.
They had all that. They had everything. He was the savior of the human race. But what we found out was that he wasn't dead. He was actually in cryosleep, and that's where Halo 4 starts. Halo 4 then has him running through saving the ship that crash lands on the thing. I forget the name of the ship. And coming back to civilization. And Adam's basically saying the fact that he's actually better off dead to the human race. He is the martyr. There is no war for him to fight now. The idea that, and at the beginning of Halo 4, Halsey is being interrogated for for war crimes because she created the Spartans, but she didn't create them to fight the Covenant. She created them to fight human rebellion. And the fact that she essentially stole kids from their homes to indoctrinate them to become these war machines and everything like that, it was overlooked whenever they were, fighting the Covenant because they were the only thing that stood between humanity and the Covenant. But then now that there's nothing, they're essentially these horrifying, sociopathic, almost psychopathic killing machines that are on the loose. Spartans never die in battle. That's Halsey's thing. They never die in battle. They're always missing in action. And that's something that they're trying to find, as well as they're trying to find out how to make Spartan 2s, how to make another Master Chief, but one that's easily controllable.
I thought they were on like Spartan 6.
Yes, but the Spartan 2s were the best Spartans. They actually became cheaper and cheaper made. Yeah. Because they were trying to make them faster. To make a Spartan 2, you need to train someone from infancy to and physically augment them. Yeah. And a lot of people died just through the training. Yeah. And it's like they were trying to make it cheap and fast. And the Spartan 3s, I think, were a huge flop. The Spartan 4s, I think, were the most recent ones that you see in Halo 4, I think. I could be wrong. But essentially, they're the cheap versions of what Master Chief is. And they're trying to find out how to make another Master Chief, but one you can control. Yeah. So that's his idea, is the fact that he's being hunted down because they're trying to, and it's the idea of hunt the truth. They want to crush Master Chief because he's not needed anymore. He is more valuable to the government and to the human government as a dead martyr than he is still alive, able to tell secrets.
I don't know. While I was sitting here, I thought of something way less complex, because you mentioned the Prometheus creatures could still be around.
Yeah. What if there's like a treaty between them?
I was thinking that if Master Chief returns to Earth, maybe because of that, the Prometheus follow his trail and they come to Earth and mess everything up and they blame Master Chief or whatever.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
And that's why they think he's a traitor, because he had some deal with the Prometheans or something.
Here's my thing about the Prometheans. From my knowledge of the Prometheans, they are morphed humans. Okay. From what I remember from Halo 4,
I thought they were
the main elements. No, you're thinking the Forerunners.
I am thinking of the Forerunners.
The Forerunners, supposedly, this is my knowledge. I would need to do much more reading of this topic.
This is fact. Put the fact bar.
I've been meaning to read the books. Like, that's my biggest thing, is I wish I could say I had the knowledge that the books portray, but I don't. But the Prometheans were the souls stolen by the Forerunner, by the Didact. The Didact stole souls and essentially put them into the Prometheans and made them the machines that you fight in Halo 4. Did you spill?
Yeah, I just spilled all on myself.
And you just open your mouth and let it all fall out. So I don't really know if you can't really make a treaty with the Prometheans, from what I can understand. Okay. They're just death machines bent on killing the humans.
Oh, okay.
But which makes sense why he's fighting them. The Forerunners are dead. The Didact was like the last Forerunner. Okay. That I think alive.
That we know of. They could always do.
That we know of.
Thing. But yeah.
And then this is also Adam Kovic. I learned a lot. Adam Kovic, by the way, he is the inventor of Inside Gaming, or what was Inside Gaming, now Funhouse. But he originally
I
was
thought it was pronounced Fun Hoss.
Fun Hoss, however you want to pronounce it. But he was also Inside Gaming actually was called Inside Halo when it first started, and it was for a company called Machinima, and he essentially was all about making Halo facts. So he's kind of like the Halo expert. So I definitely trust him whenever I hear anything, him talk about anything. I knew a lot of what he was saying, but at the same time, like specific facts are very muddy to me. Like Halo Spartan 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s and all that junk. I don't know what
All that
they're
junk
currently
inside
doing.
that trunk.
But I definitely think it's interesting. I think we'll definitely be seeing all three enemies coming back. Prometheans, the Covenant, what is left of the Covenant, obviously, because the Monarchs, not the Monarchs.
The heads, the squid
What do you call
dudes.
them? What do you call them though?
Squid
Anyway,
dudes.
those guys are dead. So whatever is left of the Covenant, I believe
I thought
it
the
should be
Covenant
run.
eventually
I thought they were
gave up.
disbanded.
Well, no, because I think, and this is me also kind of assuming in Halo 2, when you started Halo 2 in the Master Chief Collection, you see Locke talking to the Arbiter from Halo 3
Yeah.
and Halo 2, and he's got this much bigger like helmet than he did originally whenever he first had the Arbiter outfit. That makes me think the Arbiter is now the leader of the Covenant.
Okay,
But
so
there's probably like
yeah.
treaties that were signed that
Yeah, so
that
then-
are buddies.
you think the Arbiter, the Covenant, and the humans have formed a treaty then?
Yes.
Okay.
But do you
Cut-
think it'll be broken or something?
Well, here's the thing, and this
Maybe
is
they're
what I
from
was saying
Rebels.
about what Adam said in the last podcast, was the fact that if you noticed, you couldn't understand what the Covenant that you fought were saying in Halo 4. You could understand them in Halo 3. And that's because they get like this little babblefish thing in their helmets that translates what they're saying and everything like that. But you couldn't then, because that is actually
Science.
not a part of the Covenant. It was a outlying group, an outlying like section of the Covenant that you fought in that one. And that's why whenever they see humans, they open fire on sight. They weren't a part of that Covenant that fought in the human war. So there's a possibility you're going to be fighting on all sides. The idea that the humans will start opening fire on the aliens will start fighting back, and the fact that you throw Prometheans in, and the fact that this all could be started because the one thing that the aliens fear the most is the demon or Master Chief coming back. The possibility that, and you make a good point, the treaty could totally be broken because of Master Chief's war crimes.
Oh, what if all of Halo 4 started a giant war again, and they're blaming Master Chief because he didn't know that there was a treaty or something?
Possibly, very very possible, because it's like a couple. It's a couple years in the future, a
Yeah.
couple hundred years in the future, couple thousand. I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
It's
So
a couple,
he could have.
It's
It's
the
years.
future.
Yeah.
It's the future.
It's measurable in years.
Yeah.
That much I know. Very, very interesting. They 343, and once again, me and you have had this conversation. I like that they're making Master Chief human. That was the biggest thing, is that they didn't really like go into who is Master Chief with 1, 2, and 3. When Bungie was originally making these Halos, and I feel like 343 is finally taking all the lore that Bungie had that they didn't really reference in the games. They're taking all of that and they're putting it in the games, and they're starting to like make the games more about who is Master Chief, what is he to the world, to the universe, and what is he inside.
Yeah.
Because now that Cortana's gone, there's no human aspect.
Yeah, it's more of a character-driven story.
It's very, very interesting, and I'm definitely, if I can find some money, and audience, if you want to send some money my way,
Don't.
He's
You
going to
can
use it
send
on
it-
hookers and blow.
you can send it to P.O. Box 919. This isn't a real P.O. Box.com. And I might get an
Why is there a
Xbox.
.com?
I might get an Xbox just so I can play Halo 5.
Well,
can
you
play it
could
with
have.
me.
Okay.
I really want Halo 5.
Okay.
Like, that's how bad I could internally justify that purchase if I can find the money.
Well, why didn't you just buy a Xbox One instead of a PS4?
Well, I didn't buy a PS4. That was a present.
Oh yeah.
I technically I technically would only have a 360. If it comes out for 360, I'll probably buy that because that'll save me hundreds of dollars. But it won't come out for 360.
Yeah.
But it won't.
360's
So
done.
let's not.
I think we're far enough in the future cycle that 360 is just done.
And
Like,
everyone's
they're not gonna
starving for games on the console still.
Yeah.
No offense to the indies, but
Wait.
we're still starving for like giant games to come
Well,
out.
we're starving for a game that works out of the box. We're finally, I think, getting into the era where the games that were broken last year finally are coming out and working. I think Halo might be still broken. I don't know. Have you been playing any of the Master Chief Collection?
I haven't played it for a while,
Collection.
but whenever I did, the matchmaking was all wonky still. But it was a while ago.
I was told that was fixed, but a lot of things they say are fixed and they're not. So, but I know that I mean, like, Rockstar's finally come out with their stuff. Hope the Destiny's, I mean, didn't have that many bugs, but they're coming out with more content eventually. And they have more content with the second raid. Obviously, it's kind of died down again because that second patch was, kind of nothing really special in it. Hopefully, Master Chief Collection has solidified itself. Which, by the way, this is me being a nerd rage for Halo.
Sage Rage.
I meet a lot of people that the multiplayer is what they do. That's their thing. They love the multiplayer, and I get it. Good on you. If you want to play multiplayer, that's great. I feel for you that you couldn't play multiplayer with the Master Chief Collection. But is that really why you got it? Was that really why you bought the Master Chief Collection, to play multiplayer?
Yes.
There was nothing. I mean, I guess there was some stuff added to multiplayer for the Master Chief Collection, but really, you didn't buy it because you wanted to play the single player campaigns for all of them, the remastered single player campaigns.
Oh, I do think it's crazy. It was $59.99 normal retail price for 3. How many games were on it? 3 games.
I thought it was 4.
Yeah,
Four
they had
games.
Halo 4 on there. So
They had Halo 4 on there.
Halo 1 through 4 should be
I
on
didn't get
there.
to 4.
Damn.
on
Halo
the
1
remastered.
Halo 1 through 4 should be on there. I mean, the only difference they did to 3 and 4, where they just made it 60 frames a second. They didn't do any upres.
Well, still, that's crazy. That's a crazy big deal.
And
it was that.
And it's just so many people are like, it's broken. I can't get in a match. And I can't. I'm like, but is multiplayer really what you want to do with that? I feel like I would buy that game because I want to do me and you would always do Halo Odysseys. Every single time a new Halo game would come out, we'd be like, let's start at 1 and let's go through.
But
That's what I would do.
But that's still a major feature that they were promising.
True.
That was going to work.
True.
So it's still justified, but I can see what you're saying, that the single player would be more of a draw, because the multiplayer, it'll be like, why not just play Halo 4's multiplayer?
Because that's what it is. It's just essentially ported over with more stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't go back.
I think it was just the maps and the ability to play Halo 2 matchmaking again.
Or maybe it was because they wanted
Was
that
it Halo
old
2 matchmaking?
pistol
I thought it
again.
was still the Halo 4 stuff, just with the Halo 2 maps.
I think they had different matchmaking settings where one of them would be
I don't
Halo
have an
2
Xbox
style.
One, so
Maybe they wanted that old pistol that was overpowered
OP pistol.
yeah.
back in Halo 1.
Well, and I will say another thing for a reason why you should stop bitching. They're making ODST remake. So because of it. Now some people are getting it for free. I don't think we're in that group. I don't think you're in that group.
I don't think I'm getting it.
But that's pretty cool. They're making all these remakes that weren't originally on the plan. They're honestly, I kind of wish I was like, hey, 343, instead of making ODST, just make Halo 5 come out sooner, because if it's as good as you're promising, everyone will forgive you.
They have multiple
It's so
teams. They don't have
interesting.
to aim everyone on it.
Well, 343 is not that big of an industry, or not that big of a studio.
Industry.
Halo is its own
Well,
industry.
it's 343 Industries, so that's why.
Yeah, but
I said
it's
that.
but remastering has to be a little easier than recreating creating new assets entirely.
Well, no, they essentially had to create new assets, didn't they? I mean, I get that a lot of that stuff wasn't just retexturing. If you bounce back and forth between the new and the old stuff, I mean, the wireframe alone would have to be completely different. You'd be having to push so many more pixels. You'd have to essentially rebuild from the ground up.
Not
the
necessarily.
only things you would continue to use would be, I would think, the programming language, all the mechanics and everything. You just port those over, but you would use new assets and new
No,
textures.
Because I think they pulled a lot from the other games. Like all the Marines are in the style of Halo 4, so they probably just pulled all the assets from Halo 4 and plugged them
Possibly.
into this. And the trees looked like they
okay,
were...
well, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that still seems like that's a process. I don't think that's.
Oh, definitely. But
I don't think that's just copy paste. That's
But
that's
I,
like
but
you
I
have
do
to go
think
in
it's
and
faster than
Yeah.
building something from the
Yeah,
ground
but I don't
up.
think it's
I'd
such
agree
a
with that.
major thing that it would slow production down a lot. It might only
I
be
don't
like
know.
I would only estimate that it'll push the game back like maybe a month, because after that it's like, come on guys, you should focus on your new game instead of doing a remaster. So probably it's the thing where it's all, oh, we can do this and we can release a game. It's just the game will come out like a little later. It won't be like years later.
Maybe. That's outsiders kind of being like, this is how games work. This is how game industry works.
Yeah.
If I told you here's an old game, retexture it, I mean, I wouldn't know how to do it. So
Well, we're also not in the game industry.
true, but I'm saying, I mean,
Yeah.
until you have like Blizzard level assets, like the ability to like, you know, oh, we're gonna put this on our studio overseas. I'm pretty sure 343 is pretty localized. I don't think they're like a multinational or international studio. I'm pretty sure they're a studio. So that's where I go. I would much rather see them. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think ODST was an awesome game, and I definitely want to see a remake for it, especially because a friend of mine, I let them borrow it in high school, and
And
they
stole
never
it.
gave it back. They never gave it back.
I'm
and it
upset
makes me
about
sad.
that.
Did you ask for it back?
I did twice.
Oh.
And then we graduated, and I went to college, and I probably still could hunt them down, but it's one of those things where it's like, laziness.
I always wanted to play Horde mode back then, and I guess what is it
Firefight.
called? Firefight. Their Horde mode. I always wanted to play Firefight, and I just couldn't because he stole our freaking game.
But
Yeah.
but I definitely think I'd much rather see Halo 5 come out sooner. Maybe it's not a huge diversion.
Did you say
especially
2015?
especially because I believe it's shit. Let me check.
Because if it's
10/27.
2015, that's not too far. Yeah, I think it would be 2015 if they're releasing trailers.
10/27/15. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So not that far.
this October.
Awesome.
It's crazy. It's crazy that we're at 5. Time just flies.
Well, and see, here's my. So you were saying they're gonna kill him. The only reason I don't think they're gonna kill him.
No, they're not going to kill him.
I
Just,
definitely think
want
they're
them
gonna
to
kill him.
kill him.
I definitely think
Why?
they're gonna kill him. I don't think they're gonna kill him in this game though.
You don't like the chief?
No, I think it would be it's a great opportunity to kill him
I definitely don't think.
for the story.
I definitely don't think his story could end any way other than death, personally. But
I don't think they're going to kill him, though.
But you gonna sit up that tall because your head's popping out of frame.
Maybe you should
Anyway.
reframe the camera.
I definitely think they're gonna kill him, but I don't think they're gonna kill him in this game because I'm pretty sure they talked about how it was going to be. They were going to do a trilogy. They were going to do 3 games, and they're only on their second. Now, the only way they could kind of flip that on its head is 3 games, but maybe not all 3 of them are Master Chief related. Locke is a good spring point to possibly change. Like maybe he does kill Master Chief, and then the next game is about Locke, or maybe the next game is about another Spartan because they are trying to create another Spartan. I mean, that's kind of the thing they keep on hinting at, especially in 4, trying to create a Master Chief. For what though? I'm curious. For
Yeah.
what? What are they fighting? What do they need it for, other than for rebellion repression?
You think they're going to just do a thing where they're all, oh, well, we faked his death and he went into hiding?
Again.
Yeah, again.
Maybe
It's kind of a cheap way to do it, I guess.
it's a good way to keep the series going.
Yeah.
Gotta
And
keep
then-
that cash cow
and then
going.
And then you can just do the same thing where it's all, oh, in legendary mode, you find out that his death was faked. And that Locke brought back the blasted helmet just to
I just know if he dies,
ward off the hunt.
it better hit even harder than spoiler. Halo Reach is.
It's not a spoiler.
What's his name? the Spartan's name, whatever it is, some 06. I
No,
think.
Noble.
Noble 6.
Noble 6. Yep.
It better be.
I don't know.
Even better than like Noble 6 is hard to top, but it better be.
I don't think it can.
Reach was a good game.
It depends if it's epic or if you're just going for emotional.
Did you play Reach?
Yeah.
Did you? Or are you just saying that because you're on
I'm
the
just saying
podcast?
that because I'm on the podcast.
I actually. Okay, you're gonna come over and we're gonna play Reach.
Okay.
Only
thing.
because I'm gonna spoil this. It's not. It wasn't a spoiler at the time. It might be a spoiler for you. Reach basically was the biggest loss the humans had.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so the whole game, the best part about the whole game is you go into it knowing you're going to die. That's that you are random character number 1. And the other cool thing is the fact that your character is actually customizable.
Yeah.
So like in the cutscenes, depending on what character you go in as, that's your character. And I really like that because it actually makes you connect with that character, oddly enough. Even though it's that strong silent type kind of character that every Halo game has. But it's just when you get to you know it. You know that it's going to come the whole game. But then the moment it does come, the first time you do it, the first time you play, you're like, I'm going to win. I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to beat this. And it's a weird thing that happened that you're like You knew at the beginning of the game, you knew it was going to happen. But even though you knew, you kind of made yourself believe that you could overcome the odds and you could actually win and survive and there was going to be a happy ending. And there really isn't.
Which is
When did they first talk of the loss of Reach?
Halo 1.
They did?
Yeah,
I thought it wasn't until Halo 2 they started talking
Halo
about
1
that stuff.
Halo 1 starts with them coming out of warp and saying, "Did we get away from Reach?" Because Master Chief essentially was in cryo sleep. The Pillar of Autumn was the ship they escaped on. They escaped from Reach, and they randomly found a Halo, and that's what started Halo.
That's what the whole.
So do they go on and talk like, oh, well, we lost Reach and all that stuff in Halo 1? Okay.
Yeah, they talk about Reach all the time. I mean, there's an entire book that I really, really want to read. I actually got halfway through the book, and then my copy was like really shittily made, and it felt like the pages started falling out, so I never got to finish it. But it's called The Fall of Reach, and it's all about, like, essentially Reach was Earth's military training ground for the Spartan projects, for the UNSC, for the ODSTs, for all of it. Like, it was a huge military loss because essentially the aliens just came in and glassed the planet. They just came in and just were like, all right, just completely destroy this entire planet. They didn't leave anything.
And that's kind of what sets it up as Master Chief's our last savior, because everything else that could have saved us is gone now.
Yeah.
Because they what is it called? Glassed the planet?
Yeah, that's what
glassed
that's the term they use.
What's the glass?
They essentially laser beamed the planet, essentially turned it into... I mean, when you heat up sand, it turns into glass.
Okay.
So they glassed the planet. They completely burnt it to the ground. Like there was... you know how we talk about how, why don't... If there's all these crazy things, why don't we just throw nukes down? That's essentially what they did. They just orbitally struck the ground. I think at first they didn't know... Or no, they did. So the Arbiter, one other thing that I actually never picked up at first. The Arbiter was the one who led the strike on Reach, and the one who essentially he had the biggest death toll of anyone in the entire Covenant history.
Like, you mean he lost the most? Or
no, he's
killed the most.
The most successful and most confirmed kills in all of in the whole history. But because he failed to save the Halo in Halo 1, because that was his armada. Yeah. He was publicly shamed and then turned into the Arbiter. And the Arbiter essentially at first was an idea of power to the Serengeti, who are the elites. That the Arbiter is I'm totally nerding out on this. The Arbiter is essentially the lead. They were very much the samurai nation. Whoever was the strongest, whoever could fight the hardest, they were the Arbiter. And when the prophets, that's the name. When the prophets came in, they essentially made the idea of the Arbiter is the hand of the prophets, which essentially was a fire and forget. They were the guys that would fall on the sword for the Prophet, which meant that if you were an arbiter, you were sentenced to death because you were sent into suicide missions, essentially, constantly. And that was all you did. But because he was such a badass...
so he was basically like Master Chief for the Covenant.
Yes. I mean, that... Okay. Well, but the thing is they would just send normal elites to be the arbiter. But this specific one, he was so valuable, they sentenced him to death, but they were like, instead of you being put to death, like just chop your head off and call it a day, they were like, we're gonna make you the arbiter.
Does the arbiter have a name?
Yeah, why does he end up working with the chief?
I forget what it is though.
Well, it's probably like alien language.
Yeah, why does he end up working with the chief then? I forget.
So you have to play Halo 2. Me and you, I might borrow your Xbox One, and we're gonna just do a Halo thing. But essentially, in Halo 2, you see that they start. He essentially starts talking to what's called the Oracle, which is the little floating eye, Guilty Spark.
Okay.
He starts talking to him and realizes that these Halo rings that are supposed to send them on the journey, essentially all the rings do is just wipes out all of life in the galaxy. So that it's essentially a failsafe for the Flood, because the Flood, the only way that you can kill them essentially is to starve them.
Up.
And so you have to kill all organic matter within an entire galaxy's range. And that's what the Halo rings do. But the Prophets, for whatever reason, I don't think they ever explain why the Prophets think that it'll send them on this journey.
Well, it's like their religious beliefs.
Yeah.
That's the idea that they're just going in being like, this is what the gods want us to do.
That's why they call it the Ark.
Huh.
Which, if you think of like Indiana Jones, the Ark, when they opened it up, essentially their faces melted off and they all died, and like anyone that looked at the Ark
dude, spoiler.
Yeah, really old spoiler. I'm pretty sure the worst spoiler was spoiling Reach, which is still a very old spoiler. Halo 4 has been out for 2 years.
That would start a war.
So
that would start a war. Halo Reach's story is more powerful than Indiana Jones.
No, I never said that.
Said on the podcast.
I never said that. I did not say more
It was
powerful.
insinuated.
I'm saying it's more recent.
Going with the idea of killing Master Chief, do you think it would be in the same fashion as Noble, or would it be more of Mice and Men style, where they force the actual player to pull the trigger? Like an execution.
What do you mean by
style.
pull the trigger? Pull the trigger on himself, like a suicide? Or
No,
what?
No,
he's
like you're
saying,
playing as Locke, and the Chief
You
finally
gotta
has
kill
given
Chief.
up, and you're at the back of his head, and the game won't progress until you pull the trigger.
I don't know. I see Master Chief going out in a self-sacrifice style, not killing himself, essentially in the traditional term, but more like, I need to set this bomb off. Somebody needs to set this bomb off. I'm gonna stay behind, kind of thing. Like, it's like everyone else seems to take that fall except for Chief. I feel like Chief's that's probably how he's gonna die. I don't think it's gonna be a thing of you. I don't think fans would be happy if you kill Chief, if you are the one that kills the Chief, just because he is essentially, for anyone who is truly connected to Halo, he is you. Master Chief is you, from 1 to 4 to 5. It's like, it was odd whenever you didn't play as Chief in ODST and Reach.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of go. I don't think we'd kill him. I don't think we as a player would kill him.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Reach. I would say if it was going to go one of two ways, I would say it'd be the Reach way.
Oh.
He essentially does a final stand.
Zane?
I also think it would be the Reach way, but it would have to be different than Reach, obviously. I don't think they're going to copy the same thing as Reach, but like a final stand scenario, or just thinking about that ending, it was so powerful.
That's interesting. I actually would have... So you guys would want the Reach ending?
Not want. I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay, which one
I would want I would want that too, but like I told you what I want. I think he would self-sacrifice himself, either final stand or like I need to set this bomb off.
All right.
Final moments kind of thing.
Okay. And then the Reach thing would be the one that you want?
No, because I've already seen it. I don't quite know what I want, but I want it to be better, and that's all I know.
Okay. I would want the of Mice and Men style, just because it would be a harder ending for, like, it would be such it'd be such a hard thing for everyone to do.
I don't think he can force the player to do it, though. I think it would have to be a spoiler Walking Dead style. End of Walking Dead, season 1. I think it would have to be kind of like that. I think it would have to be a cinematic, if anything, because I don't know. It would feel unnatural, like having to.
But you're
actually
saying
pull the
it's
trigger.
like a Call of Duty type thing where it's like you have to pull the trigger or else the story doesn't progress. You'd sit there watching, pull the trigger prompt, and just sit there.
Either that, or they could layer in a soft thing
Press
where
A
they're
to
all
salute.
either you pull the trigger or you let him run, and then Locke dies or something.
But I'm saying if you let him run, wait, like game over and you have to go again.
No, like there's probably 2 endings or something where it's all
I have a hard time
kill
believing they're gonna do 2
you
endings.
kill the chief, or Locke gets thrown in as a traitor as well.
Or I think they're both gonna die.
They both die.
Like they're sitting next to each other, dying.
I just
like,
think-
this is it.
Yeah.
2 endings
We're
to me would really fuck up Halo
Okay.
6.
Well, then just one ending, so you have to pull the trigger.
I think they're both gonna be
That's the
dying,
one I want.
and then Locke's gonna. This is. Well, I'm guessing the end of
Why's
the next
everyone
game.
gotta die?
I feel like Locke's dying, and then he sacrifices himself so Chief can
Both die.
progress further because he finds out something good about the Chief.
Do you think the 3-4 guys or 3-4-3 guys are like watching, going, shit, they know, we gotta rewrite it,
Everything new.
Oh shit! That podcast that no one watches knows everything
we
and
gotta-
spoiled it. Fuck.
We already had all the animation. Now we got to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's like the
Yeah.
day after we release this podcast,
Yeah.
it's like 10/27. Now it's like
Yeah.
10/27, 2016. Like,
But I'm
oh
also,
shit.
But I'm also the sadistic writer like George R.R. Martin. Will be all, oh, everyone's crying because they have to pull the trigger. I love those tears.
I don't know. I honestly, if I had to pull the trigger on Master Chief, I'd probably turn the game off and not finish it. I probably would. I'm serious. Like I would just
What if
be
it
like,
starts? What if Halo 5 starts at that? And literally,
I
when you
wouldn't
pull
finish
the
it.
trigger,
I would
when you
stop
pull
playing
the
the
trigger,
game.
it doesn't show it like kill him. It just the screen flashes and it goes to the rest of the game. So it goes back in time.
I'd
That'd
pause
be
the game.
funny.
I'd pause the game, and I'd walk out the door, and I would just take life in for a moment.
And
So
then he
that's-
would never progress, and everyone else would be all, "You need to play the game. I can't shoot Chief. That's not the end of the game."
Step 1, lay on the ground. Step 2, get in fetal position. Step 3, attempt not to cry. Step 4, cry a lot.
Step 4, cry. That's all
Just
you can do.
turns into a pool of tears.
I don't know. I definitely think this is the best marketing I've ever seen for a Halo game.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where once again we talked about, what did we talk about like 2 weeks ago or a week ago? We talked about how it was like enough for us to speculate, but not enough for us to know. We were we were talking about Halo. It's exactly it. We were talking about Halo and the bullet.
traitor.
Yeah, the traitor bullet. They even now they've given us more, but yet I still have no clue. We now know though that Locke is. I mean, officially know that Locke is hunting the Chief.
Okay.
And it's like, as far as that it goes, that's all we know, and I love it. Whoever did the marketing for this so far, don't fuck it up.
I mean, we still got till.
They fuck
just
up and show the
so
ending in
good.
one of the
We
trailers.
still got until 10/27, which they've already shown a good bit. I don't know if
I
showing.
don't know if they've shown a lot though. Once again, the fact that they released 2 trailers makes you confused. If they released 1 trailer with Master Chief on the ground and Locke standing over him with a gun, you're kind of like, oh, okay, well then that's. but then the second you watch the second trailer with Master Chief and Locke on the ground, you're like,
Okay.
oh, wait.
I want the
who's-
next
how's-
trailer to be them
how's that
holding
gonna work?
hands and skipping
Yeah.
through the forest.
By the way, I also think that there is going to be that 2 aspects of 2 different playthroughs or whatever, where you're Locke and then you're Chief.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because the site says there are 2 sides to every story, so it's like, why wouldn't we play?
I don't
as
think
both?
there's going to be 2 different like separate plays. I think it's going to be one play where you
one
switch.
side of the story, the other side.
Like Halo 2 style, whenever you would be playing as Master Chief and then you'd finish the act and then it would switch to the Arbiter. That kind of idea is what I think it'll be.
Interesting. All right. So we made our predictions.
What
Soon
do
as
you
the
think?
chief
I really
dies.
do actually want to know if there's any Halo fans watching. What do you guys think? Because, I mean, our predictions are pretty generic. They're pretty like, I've heard much more creative predictions that I'm kind of like, really, that's what you get. That's what you. I'm also still going through Hunt the Truth. I'm actually immediately after this podcast. I'm gonna go through all the Hunt the Truth stuff to kind of catch myself up.
No, he's not. He's gonna download the footage and edit it.
But
Yes.
essentially that's. Hopefully, I'll have a better prediction after I'm kind of caught up with the Hunt the Truth stuff.
My question is, who do you think player 2 will be in both of these stories?
You mean like instead of them
You
copying
think it will act?
two chiefs, they'll
Yeah.
like
Because with how cinematic they're going this game, having just 2 chiefs walking around would feel weird.
It's probably gonna be 2 chiefs.
yeah.
2 chiefs, 2 locks.
That's what they did in 4.
Do you think the Arbiter could come back and be your sidekick?
Possibly. I am
Probably
curious
not.
to see how the Arbiter fits into all this because it's kind of one of those things where they just threw that in at 2.
Yeah.
Essentially,
all-
they made 2 in the Master Chief Collection. It was a retelling from the
Yeah.
Arbiter's perspective, and
And
then
if-
it starts
If
playing
you play
normal.
as Locke, I feel like it would be extremely easy to just throw in another Spartan and say that it's his right-hand man.
Who gets shot in the
I'm
face
interested to
by
see
the
that, too.
chief. Anyways, so
Well, Locke's from Oni, so that's also something interesting. Or supposedly Locke's from Oni, and Oni is like the CIA of the secret organization that really shouldn't be trusted. You know, the guys that kind of cover things up. So I am curious to see like because Locke seems like he's a lone wolf. I don't see him being Locke's assistant or something like that. That seems like there's the more eyes, the more loose ends.
yeah.
I want to see Red versus Blue come into Halo
Oh,
5.
they're totally gonna do it.
just like they're just walking through in a scene, and it's just like,
You guys also haven't
what
seen.
if they're Locke's? They like somehow are Locke's goofy companions.
What if
That'd be
Locke
amazing.
is locked in a room with the chief and has to beat him to death with his own hands? Anyways, let's get on to the next subject.
There was a picture on Facebook that said, "Hey, Chief." Chief goes, "What?" "You know what my favorite Halo map is?" Chief goes, "What?" Lockdown. And Chief just puts a gun to his head. Well, what do we have any other topics? Because I mean, we're at an hour, so I mean, we can keep going. But I wanted to nerd out about Halo.
Do we
this
want to
week.
make a bet?
No, let's make it later. Let's make
Okay.
it like the podcast before we
Then we can
before it
think
comes
up
out.
what we're gonna do on the podcast if we win.
Because we can make a more educated bet, I think, when Hunt the Truth comes out with a little bit more information.
But then that makes it so.
I feel
There's
like
more risk right now.
I feel like there's more risk, but I feel like they're actually if the marketing campaign goes the way it's still going, as it's been going, we will just keep being more confused. It essentially it will lead up to more questions.
Okay.
It'll only make us have more questions and more loose ends.
Yeah.
Till the point where we have to play the game to answer them.
All right. Well, if you guys want us to play Halo 5, let us know.
Well, we will. That's not that. Sorry, but I don't
Non-negotiable.
I don't give a shit if you don't. If
Well,
you want or
let's
don't want
play.
me to. I'm gonna play it. So
Well, I mean, record it and show it to the. Well, never mind.
I don't like I said. I'm doing my own thing.
I'm gonna force it down your throat. I'm gonna record it.
Actually,
I'm gonna sit
Halo
you down
5, I'll probably live
and make
stream.
sure you watch it.
I will probably live stream Halo 5. So be looking for that in October.
A while from now.
When we finally start up our Twitch channel.
Remember
Anyways,
all. Well, I mean, we have it. We have a Twitch channel. We just don't use it.
ever. We
But-
should probably use that.
Well, we're still working on getting this podcast live streamed. So that's what. As soon as we're able to have that, the biggest problem right now is more so the fact of coverage and the set. It's it's kind of a thing where it's like right now
Our set is amazing.
we don't have a very permanent. This is a very temporary setup for us, and we don't know how long we're going to be here. We don't know how long this is going to be what we do, but
Forever.
But until we're able to have a bit more of a secure setup, it's going to be tougher for us to live stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit tough of a setup. So
Do you want to go over
hopefully we'll get it.
how our weeks have been? We sometimes do that, sometimes don't.
My week has been very hectic, actually. I'm currently. I'm still working at ABC. I've been trying to play more video games, and I finally finished the Final Fantasy demo, the Final Fantasy 15 demo.
The what is it called?
What- that-
Duskai, episode Duskai.
Episode
that.
Duskai.
I finished it. I definitely don't like it as much as Nate does.
Sage is a communist
It's
and a traitor.
What?
I will
it's
shoot him
pretty
in the
good.
face.
It's pretty good. I love the mechanics. I definitely think the fighting engages me more so than like other Final Fantasy games where it was like, menu based fighting. and
Another
everything
traitorous
like
remark.
that. What? No, I'm saying that's good.
That's also bad.
What I don't like, and this could just be from the demo. I mean, you kind of pointed out
Yeah.
to me that they locked a lot of the more faster ways to travel. I felt like everything was padded like crazy. The fact that one mission was on one side of the map, the other one was on the other side of the map, and the only way to get there was to walk. And to walk, you're constantly getting put into fights.
But you're gonna get a car.
Like I got to the point where I was just
You can
like,
ride around in chocobos, it seems like, but they locked that for the demo.
I got to the point where I was just like, screw this. I'm just gonna keep. If I get that flash of red where it says I'm in a fight, I'm just gonna keep running because they don't catch up fast enough, and I can just run and it'll escape. I won't get any experience points, but whoop-de-doo. I mean, the main bad guy that you fight. Spoiler for the end. Can I spoil the end? Do you think it's too soon for spoiler for the ending
I
of a
think
demo?
it's a demo, so.
So the end of the main boss that you're fighting on One Eye.
Behemoth.
You don't fight him technically. And you can, and you will get your ass kicked.
Did you actually fight him?
Yes, because I didn't know I was supposed to run away. So all,
God.
your allies run away to this like hole, and you're supposed to run away with them whenever the first plan to defeat the behemoth doesn't work. And I didn't know that, so I'm fighting, and I'm like, look around. I'm like, where the hell are my allies? Did they all die? No, their health's fine. On the bottom corner of my screen, I turn around and I see them all waving at me from like halfway across the map. I'm like, oh.
That's all. I wish you recorded it.
So, but it's like even when you go back to actually fight him, you get this essentially mega overpowered.
That is so sexy.
It's like essentially a summon.
Yeah.
And you essentially use that, and it just immediately blows him away. And I'm kind of like, well, then why?
It's like a nuke.
You don't fight him at all. Like you essentially,
awesome.
the only way to beat him is to let him beat the shit out of you until you have no health, and then do the summon. And then the summon is an insta-kill, and then the demo's done. And you go and collect your car from the super hot blonde mechanic chick that
Cindy.
Full Metal Alchemist?
almost. She is blonde, but she has short hair.
Oh.
Damn. Yeah, they made her super sexy.
Well, and super sexual. Every single
Yeah.
time she's like looking at the car, she's bending over it. It's like shots of her butt or shots like that are slightly downwards towards her cleavage that don't really need to be downwards because her shirt's wide open, but she's wearing like a Riku type top where she's like covered just enough.
Japan be crazy.
But I kind of was like I wish they actually had a boss fight. You know, like that boss fight was more cinematics than fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, like I said, I tried to actually fight the thing, and it said if it even popped up a little thing that said if you fight him on his blind side, you get the off guard bonuses, the essentially crit hits.
Yeah.
And my crit hits weren't doing shit.
You were also super low level, so that was a bad idea.
They weren't doing shit. I literally, but even that, I was still like dodging pretty well, and like I hammered at him for a good like 10, 15 minutes. Like I'm serious. Like I actually tried to take him down, and I couldn't even see the blip of health I got from him. So it's one of those things where it's like I would have liked to actually fight him, you know, or fight a boss-esque character, because it seems like it's a bunch of low-level, you know, random encounters.
Yeah.
And then that's it. There's not even like a mid boss. Like I totally thought there would have been one in the cave, but there wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch more mid level, you know, random encounters.
I think it was more just to introduce different mechanics that they did the demo for.
My biggest last thing on Final Fantasy, and then I'll throw it to you guys. biggest mechanical failure of having that they had. I'm hoping to God they fix this. The biggest mechanical failure that you had that I saw with the game, and it's the biggest one I see whenever you have anyone who has companion characters or NPCs that walk around you, is they get in your fucking way all the goddamn time. There was a time at the Chocobo Ranch. I'm in the middle of this lane, and there's a rail a railing here, a wall here, a dude here, and a dude here. Both of my guys, because they like surround you like a little posse, and I could do shit. You would think if I walk towards them enough, they'd be like, oh, but instead all he did was just take one step back and then stood there and stared at me. Yeah, I was like, you're not out of my way. You're not out of my way. I just pressed forward, and I was like, eventually, nope, still standing there. All right, I'm essentially kissing you right now. Get out of my... Okay, well, this is the game now. I'm trapped. The game has trapped me in this corner. I'm done. And then finally he actually did move out of the way. But
yeah, that is one of the annoying things I noticed too.
AI's hard, man.
I was in the cave actually, and I got stuck between a wall and the gladiolus or whatever the hell he is. And because it's such a narrow passage, it's like I'm trying to go to the side of him, go to the other side. It's like, nope, he's just a big wall who doesn't give a shit. He just stares at me. He's all, "What are you doing, man?
You would think
what are you
they
doing?
would put
Where you
in
going?"
a mechanic where if you walk towards them, they go, "Oh, sorry," and they get the hell out of your way. But they don't.
Yeah,
and it's bullshit, and I hate it.
I actually got to the point where I was all, maybe if they just enabled clipping through my people, I wouldn't care. Even though it would be weird to look at, but I would. At this point, I'm all, I can't progress because this asshole won't move.
It was awful. It was awful. The cave was the worst, especially because there was detours.
Yeah.
So you could like go left and it would lead to a dead end. But you usually in Final Fantasy games, if it leads to a dead end, there's a treasure chest at the end of it. So I'd go that way, and then unfortunately this game doesn't play on those rules, so there would be nothing, and I'd be like, oh well shit, and I turn around, and then there's 3 guys staring at me going, What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just, nope. And just...
You can't even jump over them. It's
awful.
So the things they really need to fix is, of course, that. And the frame rate. Fix those two and I'll be fine.
The frame rate got really bad, but it only really got bad whenever there was a lot going on. So at least it was acceptable. It wasn't like Alien Isolation, where it's just the frame rate's bad all the time.
Wasn't that an artistic choice that they said it was?
I don't think so, because it's enough. It's there enough to be annoying, but not enough to forget about it. At least for me. But that's just me. And it's only for the cutscenes with the isolation. It's not like it's in the gameplay. The gameplay's smooth, but the second you go into a cutscene, suddenly now it's like you get these weird like jitter moments, and it's for no reason. I'm running my console at 720p. I'm not even going at the 1080p range yet. And it's still jittering. That doesn't make sense.
Well, if you went up to...
Isolation also didn't go up to 1080p. Like, that was one of the weird things with the release of the game, was like you actually physically had to change your console.
I thought it was 900 some p, and then upscaled at 1080.
These aren't facts, by the way. Doesn't it? I think on the PC you could probably get up to 1080.
Well, PC, but that's because your PC is controlled by your hardware, not by the game. They actually have to put a limiter in consoles, but... I'm pretty sure.
Which my console almost set on fire playing Final Fantasy 15. That's the loudest I've ever heard the PS4 go. Like, did yours fan like kick on like hell when you were?
I didn't.
For some reason, mine did.
I didn't notice it, but I also, when I play Final Fantasy games, turn the sound up really loud because I love the music, and so like I was actually. I will say one that it was really cool. I was actually sitting directly in front of my TV. I usually sit back at my couch. But this one, I was like, the TV was like right here to me, and I was just like,
that's so bad for your eyes.
And I was just like, that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. People say, oh, you can't sit close to your TV because it's bad for your eyes. Well, I sit in front of a computer all the time, so my eyes are already gone if they're gonna be gone. I edit all the time, so and I'm right. I was just as close, so I don't know. It was cool though. The sound, just because when you turn the volume up and you're really close to the TV to the point where it's almost your entire vision, it's like you really do get into the game.
So
And I
you'd
really
probably
like that.
love like an Oculus for that. Though.
Oh yeah, well, it's not for horror games, but for any other game, yeah, I would love. I definitely think full as long as it's not too heavy. That's the biggest thing. Is like as long as my neck doesn't have strain.
Yeah.
After hours of playing, because I have to hold my head up from the front weight.
Let's be honest. You're probably gonna lay on your couch and just be
But then you
looking
can't look
up at the
just stare.
ceiling.
But then you can't
and
look
just
behind
playing
you.
like this. And then just
That's what that chair thing is for.
But then you have to sit up.
yeah. Then you have to sit up.
True.
Well, you can kind of look behind you. Still, you just can't do a
No.
full like this.
Well, that's the idea.
You just.
I want to be
this.
able to turn however the hell I want.
Well, then just turn with the right analog stick. Still.
Or they just make it light. Why don't they just make the screen light?
It's still gonna
Why
be
does
wired.
metal weigh so much?
They don't have to use metal. They could make it plastic.
Certain thing you can't. Okay.
I'm sure you could make it
Certain
plastic.
components will be that
Carbon-
weight.
Carbon fiber then. Carbon fiber is
You
extremely
can't, you
light.
can't use carbon fiber for everything.
Yeah, you can.
There's just certain things that they have to put in there that's gonna.
Circuitry, but that's solder, and solder is also light metal.
Yeah, but they're gonna make it as light as possible.
Oh,
Shut up, Zane.
They're gonna make it as light as possible, but
I haven't even talked.
I
this
feel
whole
like
time.
it's just gonna be a thing where there's a certain aspect where they can't make it lighter because it's just the materials won't be that light.
Zane, what have you been doing this week?
Well, big thing for me.
Lightning round.
Is
No, we're not gonna start the lightning round when it goes to you guys. That's just being a dick.
big thing for me was I edited my first video in Premiere.
Zane is officially an editor.
Don't you dare clap. Okay, it wasn't that loud.
The Saints Row 4 Let's Play, the first one,
That came out last Friday.
last.
That's a
Friday.
lie.
Yeah,
This comes out Monday.
This comes out Monday. So
Mysticism.
last Friday. Yeah, so it came out. Go check that out if you haven't.
I actually haven't seen it.
Yeah, tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you didn't. Tell me what to fix. I'm not gonna go fix it, but I'll keep it
tell
in
me
mind
what
for the
to
next
fix.
one. But other than that,
We finally got you all set up with professional editing software.
yeah, and some software so they can we can get on and he can teach me some stuff. So it all works out. And then I went back to school, so there's that busy schedule going on. And speaking of Final Fantasy, I got a new app on my phone that I didn't even know was a thing. It's called Final Fantasy Record Keeper, and it's like a free app. And the records of Final Fantasy get messed up, and you have to go and get the Final Fantasy characters, and then go back in the timeline of Final Fantasy and set everything straight.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I've seen that advertised. Now that you're talking about that, I've seen that advertised on Facebook.
Yeah, it's fun, and so far it doesn't feel like it's a cash grab game where it's like
So
Well,
there's
it is, but
no.
it's still-
Wait,
well,
so
I haven't even
it's just a
seen.
well-made.
Wait, is it
cash grab.
free?
Well, no, for me it is free, but for me I haven't seen anything that says buy your.
Oh, so it
easier or
actually is
anything.
free. It's not freemium.
It's probably freemium.
It probably is freemium
There's probably
somewhere,
something. He
but
just
By the
hasn't
way-
seen
they
it
don't
yet.
shove it down in your throat.
By the way,
at least.
freemium means free but not really. For those who haven't seen South Park.
Free, but not free for the weak willed.
I'm able to play it without putting in my cash yet, which is good enough for me.
And it's still fun, right?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's fun.
Just barely fun.
We need to make it just barely fun, so then they purchase to make it more fun.
I got Cloud in my party now,
Nice.
Cool.
which actually happened way earlier than I expected it to.
So, cool.
So it's cool. And
got-
Persona 3
I'm
is
gonna check it
still
out.
going.
I'm gonna check that out.
Persona
I hit
3
my
I'm
mic.
still playing because I don't have enough time to just like go all the way through it, so I have to play it little by little, but that's still going good.
Nate,
Oh, I thought we weren't doing a lightning round.
what are you doing?
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
That was my week.
I am reinventing matter itself.
So this week's Lazy Revolver podcast is brought
What
to
happened
you
to no
by-
lightning rounds? I'm just creating some stories for the channel, seeing if we can film something, and dealing with lots and lots of bad news. But yeah. Keep smiling.
What?
What the hell?
So this week's podcast was brought
What?
to you by
What was that?
Cornish
That was-
Hens.
Do we need to have an intervention podcast? we'll have an intervention podcast at an hour 20. We can do that. I mean,
Also sponsored by Mac and Cheese.
Give me a second.
why? Where are you going?
Kraft's mac and cheese.
You're connected.
The real beautiful.
Oh, are you grabbing some mac and cheese?
Well, it doesn't have
We're actually not sponsored, but we
Brought
do have
to
mac
you
and
by
cheese.
Mac and Cheese. Whose mic's better?
Just
and
like-
sponsored by HP and Mac or Apple
Do you hear that?
and Zoom and Monoprice.
That's the sound of mac and cheese.
That's really gross.
all right. Hold on.
That's actually
My-
how you
my
get
levels
like
are
the
really loud
sound of like mushing flesh for like Walking Dead and stuff.
Squish it around.
Either that or you use Jello.
now.
Yeah.
If you guys have liked this random ending podcast, was that really what we're gonna end it on? We're gonna end it on. So I'm dealing with bad news.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and do all the socials. We're
all
on
right,
Twitter,
all right,
Facebook,
all right.
and Sage.
Facebook, Lazy
already said
Revolver, and YouTube, our YouTube channel. You'll see the links below. Twitter at the Lazy Revolver. I think that's a Twitter
Should
handle.
actually put
the
like
Lazy
our
Revolver.
Twitter name
And
in
we're
the video.
also looking towards things like Reddit, Twitch, and Tumblr eventually.
Mm-hmm.
We're hopefully going to get on those as soon as we learn how to actually use them.
Yeah.
Such a
Social
grandpa.
Media, man.
One day.
You're such a grandpa.
But until then, have a great day.
Keep it lazy.